My dad was a big jazz fan, and before I started school, I used to spend hours looking at album covers. And there's one that sticks in my mind particularly. It's by Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, and it was called Sing a Song of Basie. And there was the title kind of arced across in red, and then there's a picture of a piano, an upright piano, with the front off, so you could see the guts. And sitting on top, in the middle of the piano, was the lyricist, Annie Ross, in kind of beatnik outfit. And at one end is Dave Lambert, and he's got his eyes closed, and he's just about to snap his fingers, looking very cool. And at the other end is Johnny Hendricks, and he's got his arm hanging over the piano. He's holding an 8x10 glossy black and white of Count Basie, and he's just got this big smile on his face, looks so happy. I remembered all those details, and I remembered them decades later. And I know it was decades later, because it must have been 30 or 40 years later that I was listening to the CBC, and I heard Ross Porter, you know, big jazz guy, talking about Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, and saying that they were the first ever mixed race band. And I was completely stunned, because for all the detail that I could remember, I hadn't noticed that one of the three of them was black. I guess, when you're a preschooler, maybe it just doesn't matter. And by today's sensibilities, no big thing. But I guess in the 50s, that was some huge honking deal. Now, I don't think Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross were trying to make any political statements. I think they were just playing music with the people that they like to play music with and having a good time doing it. Witness this song. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head. The way he described it, he said I'd be better dead than alive. I didn't listen to his jive. I knew all along that he was all wrong, and I knew that he thought I was crazy, but I'm not, oh no. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head. He said I'd need treatment, but I'm not that easily led. He said I was the type that was most inclined, when out of his sight, to be out of my mind. And he thought I was nuts. No more ifs or ands or buts. Now they say as a child I appeared a little bit wild with all my crazy ideas, but I knew what was happening. I knew I was a genius. What's so weird when you know that you're a wizard at 3? I knew that this was meant to be. Now they say little children are supposed to sleep tight. That's why I got into the vodka one night. My parents got frantic, didn't know what to do, but I saw some crazy scenes before I came to now. Do you think I was crazy? I may have been only 3, but I was swinging. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. 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 Don't use my mind much anymore. They all laughed at A. Graham Bell. They all laughed at Edison and also at Einstein. So why should I be bothered if they just didn't understand the idiomatic logic that went on in my head? I had a brain, I was insane. Oh, they used to laugh at me when I refused to ride on all those double-decker buses, all because there was no driver on the top. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head, but I said, dear doctor, I think that it's you instead, because I have got a thing that's unique and new. To prove it, I'll have the last laugh on you, 'cause instead of one head, I got 2. And you know that 2 heads are better